It's been 1 year since LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey was sworn in to lead the department. Addie Miners sat down with the chief and has some of his staff as well to talk about what they've accomplished over the past year. She joins us now live from LMPD's new headquarters. Addie?
Rick, when we sat down with LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey last year, he said there was a few things that he wanted to focus on in year one. Those things were using more data-driven policing, reducing crime, primarily violent crime, and also being more transparent and visible within the community. So today when I sat down with him, I asked to give the department a grade on their overall progress toward those goals. He said while there's always room for improvement, he would give the department's effort an A. He went on to say that there is no finish line when it comes to achieving those goals. So the thing that the department will not do in year two under Humphrey is become complacent.
So this is the point where, as a command staff, as a department, as an agency, we need to really push it even harder to make sure that not just the crime stats improve, but the culture continues to improve.
LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey says that culture, which is centered around transparency and accountability, is what his staff feels like they're building within LMPD.
When you're constantly looking at your operations, your performance, your plans, then you are always tweaking them to find the next best iteration of what you're doing.
Something the department feels like it is doing well is reducing crime. Numbers have continuously shown a decrease in overall crime. Deputy Chief Emily McKinley attributes that to data-driven policing.
We have a lot of technology systems that ingest all of our crime data, and we've put that in the fingertips of commanding officers who can look at their divisions or their beats or their areas and see where is crime trending, where specifically on maps are things happening.
McKinley says that helps officers focus on areas that need more of a police presence, which in turn helps officers be more visible in communities. Another stat the department can point to is a 36% increase in officer-initiated activity over the past year.
They're not only responding to crime, but they're actually seeking out criminal activity to deter and prevent crime, to keep this community safe.
While the crime rate continues to be lower this year, some communities still feel that there's more LMPD can do to deter crime. After a mother was shot and killed at a bus stop in the Russell neighborhood in August, one woman voiced her concerns in a tense exchange with the chief.
So what I'm asking you is, what is LMPD going to do to have relationships in the community?
Chief Humphrey's response is, there's always more work to be done.
People should absolutely be frustrated about the violence in their communities. And so I completely understand the feeling, right? And I want to be able to have productive conversations about how to accomplish results.
Now, one way that the chief hopes to have some of those conversations is right here at LMPD's brand new headquarters. Now, they are slowly starting to move in, but there is a lot more construction that needs to be done. But once that construction is complete, LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey says he hopes that community members will be able to come here and have productive conversations with LMPD officers, including Chief Humphrey. Now, we don't have an exact date on when exactly this headquarters is going to be complete and ready for people to come out and see it. Live from LMPD headquarters, I'm Addie Miners, WLKY News.